If you think for 1 second that I'm about to listen to a black man that has sold himself and the culture to one of the biggest families who consume black culture for profit, you got another thing coming. Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. So let's talk about Kanye West. Kanye West and his Sunday service and his interview with Big Boy TV that just dropped about 2 days ago. I have a lot of thoughts, and I've been paying attention to Kanye West. It is just funny seeing Kanye West get on these stages and these platforms and speak some of the stuff that he believes is true to us. And when you ask Kanye West, what is he doing this for? What is Kanye? What do you want from this Kanye? He talks almost as if black people are the problem, and black people need to fix some issues that they did not create. And Kanye West does not understand racism. He does not understand what is going on in America. He is so disconnected. Kanye West speaks like a person that is sitting on a park bench or a bench and telling you that the world is ending. And what's funny about that is that when we see people do that, and people who quote unquote look like they ain't got nothing or homeless or whatever, we pass them, we don't pay them no attention. It also lets you know how we treat the homeless, period. But a lot of times when them folks be saying stuff like that, we'll say all these things, oh, crazy, or something that's not right with them. We'll say all of these things. And it's interesting that Kanye West, the stuff that he's saying out of his mouth, the way he word vomits some of this stuff, is the same thing as those people. But we only value it because Kanye West is quote unquote successful with selling stuff and making money. And when you look at that, you look and see how many people we have listened to just because they are rich and just because they are wealthy and just because they are celebrities. And it's almost to say that these folks know what they're talking about because they wouldn't know what they were talking about if they didn't. It's no way for them to be talking like this and not be rich. So them talking and having this mindset must have helped them gain all of this capital, all this money. And that's completely untrue. Kanye West is not a genius, okay? I would say that Kanye West is talented with the music, but when he speaks, a lot of the things that he said didn't make sense. And I actually took notes on a lot of the stuff that he said, and I want to talk about it with y'all. So there was one part when Kanye West was saying, oh, they were calling me a coon because I'm put on a red hat. But a couple of years before, I had said that, you know, George Bush doesn't care about black folks, and everybody went up for that. He said that you just can't please these people. So when I pay attention to that, it seems as though Kanye West is saying whatever and doing whatever is in the moment to gain attention. And I was watching to Ebro and T.I.'s interview, and they were calling, I think Ebro called Kanye West egotistic, or he called him a narcissist or something, to something to that effect. But I think that Kanye West really does not care about any group of people. He's doing what is giving him attention at that moment. I don't think it was anything political about what he was doing with Taylor Swift anymore. I think that him taking what's the name from Taylor Swift and saying that, you know, Beyonce had the best. I don't think that he really cared about black folks. I think we assumed it because, like, that was something we've never seen before. Like, somebody come out and say, hey, girl, we know that such and such is talented. But Kanye West, even in that moment, he didn't talk about why. He just said that Beyonce stuff was good. And it's not just that Beyonce stuff is good. It's because Beyonce is a black woman. And America will always put a white woman above a black woman all the time. Even the car agrees to that. So I was watching it and I was listening to some more stuff he was saying, and he proved a point that he didn't even realize because he's so busy word vomiting. He said that, oh, y'all said I was counseled, this and that. But look at me, I'm out here doing it. Like my stuff is the most Google stuff and da-da-da. But Kanye West, if you was in tune with the people and understanding what cancel culture is, you will understand that cancel culture is actually not a thing. Cancel culture only affects the most marginalized people. Most marginalized people, such as black women, don't get the opportunity to be able to do some things and get away with it. Look at what happened with Chrisette Michele when she did that with Trump. I knew that was coming. I was like, them folks don't mess with you. They're not interested in anything because you are a black woman. So to think that, they're using you in this moment, they're not going to care about you 2 years later. And look at Kanye West. Kanye West has a huge white audience following him. Two, that a couple of black folks and a couple of 100,000 black folks not being interested in his music, and it's not going to hurt him because his core audience is white, and he knows that, which is why he is in a relationship with Kim Kardashian. I also found it fascinating that he was talking about the female psyche and saying how Angry Birds is played by more women than anything, and it's just like how women use apps and stuff. I'm just like, what is the female psyche? What are you talking about? When you open up a brain, all our brains look the exact same. All of our brain, there is no male brain, there's no female brain. Oh my gosh, it's just a brain. Oh my gosh, like listen to him. And then he was saying that Instagram owns your beat. Like it owns your girl. As if Kim Kardashian isn't, in her whole family, all the women with the Kardashian clique don't get the most likes and the most attention on Instagram. Honestly, the Kardashians have taken from black women and made it suitable for white audiences. They have taken so much with the big butts and the big lips and all of this and the way they contour their faces and stuff, and they've been able to profit off of that. So how do you come in here and tell black folks that y'all need to put the chains down, y'all be spending too much money? Like Kanye said that black folks are so interested in owning brands and spending so much money. That lets me know that you are not on the level, you don't have the mental capacity to be able to have a conversation about black liberation. And people are going to give Kanye the ability to be able to tell black folks what they need to fix because he is one, rich, he's a celebrity, and the fact that he's using now one of the most powerful things in the black community, the book, the church. And if you don't think I'm being honest, look at how, like black folks, a lot of us, we don't realize it, but a lot of us black folks have very conservative politic. If you listen to a lot of older black folks, they not necessarily here for, such as us getting married and this and that. They're very conservative. So Kanye West is kind of speaking to them a little bit. He's speaking to some of them, but some of us, like the younger folks who are on social media, that's why he can't understand it, because the folks like us, we see straight through Kanye West's mess. We're like, no, girl, this ain't the tea. But other folks are like, okay, let me go. And some people will be, mesmerized about being close to this celebrity, being in this person's space. And for what reason? To make you feel better, make you feel good about yourself? I don't understand it. So I'm just, this whole thing of Instagram owning your girl and something like that, it's like, can people, just women, post on Instagram and post, why does it have to be where Instagram owns them? Then he also was talking about the woke folks follow rules, and he's not interested in following any rules. What? First of all, I don't even trust any person that's using the term woke, because woke implies that you are knowledgeable about everything. Now, I would call it almost a spiritual awakening, or some type of awakening where you are seeing things. And not even just that, I have noticed, and I don't consider myself woke because that means that I know everything. I don't. What I consider myself is listening, because at one point I was speaking. And when people were telling me stuff, I'm just talking over them and say, oh, that doesn't matter. But listening to people, listening to folks in their experience, I have been able to understand them. I've been able to understand what is going on. And listen to Kanye West. Kanye West doesn't see that. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't have to, because Kanye West is still very much rich. But Kanye West's issue with himself is that he knows that his money, his brand will not go on for the next 200-300 years. That's why he loves someone like Jack, the creator of Twitter. Like in one clip, one part of the interview, he said, black folks like talking black Twitter, talking all that. I'm not worried about what they saying. Then when you talked about an established brand that's owned by a white man, you saw how he boasted up and said, I love Jack. Kanye West seems to think that black folks aren't mad at him because he's voting for a Republican. No, the Republican that you are so interested in wearing their merchandise and supporting them and putting on their stuff has done so much harm to the black community, has basically spat on the black community. This is the same person that was very vocal and wanted to like criminalize the Central Park 5. Ava DuVernay just released a whole documentary about it on Netflix. Have you not watched it? Have you not had no interest in trying to understand what is going on? Like, there's so much stuff that's been said about Donald Trump and what he's done. Not for him just like being a person that just doesn't care what people think, but you like that he says what a lot of people have going to think internally and gets so much attention. That's why Kanye West values Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is able to say whatever and get so much attention. He's not making any moves. He's not making things better for folks. He's getting a lot of attention. And if you look at Donald Trump and who he respects Kim Jong-un. A whole dictator. So I really need people to understand what is going on and pay attention to what Kanye West is saying, and be judgmental and critical about it, because this is very dangerous and it's almost scary at this point that this man is able to go to these like things and get people to pay attention. It's very scary. It's very, very scary. And I was also listening to T.I. talk about when he came to the church in Atlanta and how so many people showed up. Kanye West loved that. And he doesn't understand how he's getting so much love at all these things, but online he's getting so much like negative comments. And all of these comments are normally, a lot of them are true. I'm not listening to Jesus is King album. I'm not interested in it. I think Kanye West is does stuff for shock value and for attention, and he will shift to wherever the wind blows. He does not care about, Kanye West does not care about black people. Because if he did, he'd be listening to black people. But he thinks that black people buying Gucci belts and Nikes and Adidas and stuff is keeping them in poverty. And that type of rhetoric is extremely dangerous because it erases this very system that has kept and will continue, if we don't do anything about it, keep black folks down. So we have to pay attention to that. Kanye West is out here doing some very dangerous stuff. And it needs to stop. It needs to stop. So I'm not listening to any of his stuff. And that's just my points. Tell me what you think about it, honey. Let me know in the comments. We're gonna have a whole conversation about it tomorrow on live. Some brunch type of tea. So I love y'all so much. Thank you for paying attention to this video, and I'll talk to you later on tonight. Bye.